this is Dante, and welcome to its Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Tuesday, May 28th, 2024, and tonight, surprise, I'll be talking about WWE NXT. So many people have been wanting me to watch NXT. I finally decided to watch NXT tonight, and it's because I heard about what happened. We're going to talk about this Roxanne Perez opponent for NXT Battleground. Do I sense a Roxanne Perez belt collector gimmick coming? I don't know. We have to wait and see. So Roxanne Perez goes out there and she starts cutting this promo about how the title represents the present and the greatness. What was happened tonight? We'll get into it. And so she talks about how she finds it disrespectful that she's going to barely find out who her battleground opponent is, and that she's the face of the best women's division in all of wrestling. Now, Ava Raine comes out, and she reveals Roxanne Perez's opponent, and her opponent is none other than the Knockouts World Champion, the juggernaut, Jordynne Grace. Let me tell you something. When I heard this news, my jaw dropped. Like, I was speechless. I really was. Tonight was unlike any other NXT. I won't forget, I won't forget. And she basically, she introduces herself as the TNA's Knockouts champion, in case anybody forgot. And she basically is challenging Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title, and she's prepared to leave Las Vegas as a double champion. I was so surprised by this. Because what does this mean? You know, Jordynne Grace was at the Royal Rumble. She came out with the Knockouts title. So, I mean, is AJ Styles finally going to go back to TNA? Now, for those of you who don't know, Slammiversary is going to be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada this year. Absolute shock to see Jordynne. The WWE-TNA relationship is real. Yeah, it definitely is. And I question whether this match is going to play into what happens at Slammiversary. Could it be that Jordynne Grace wins, makes history as the first woman to hold both the Knockouts title and NXT Women's title? Could it be that she loses because a certain someone gets involved in this? Now I wonder, and by that certain someone being Natalya, would we see Jordynne Grace versus Natty at Slammiversary, either for the Knockouts title or for the NXT Women's title? You know, if Jordynne Grace wins at Battleground, she could take the NXT title. Maybe Natty comes over, takes the title back at Slammiversary. Or maybe this is how we would set up that match. So Mike Johnson, a PWI insider, reports that the word backstage at tonight's WWE NXT taping was that Jordynne Grace appearing on the WWE NXT Battleground will not be the only WWE TNA collaboration in the days ahead. The belief among those we've spoken is that there will be some sort of NXT representation on future TNA events and programming as well. Although we haven't heard how much that could be, whether it could be anyone beyond Roxanne Perez. My guess is we'll see something at TNA events in Chicago at either Against All Odds or the subsequent TV tapings, but obviously that's not confirmed since there are no other TNA events before that. It's pretty easy to draw the line, however. So, when did I start doing NXT reviews? I don't do them weekly. I only did them because of what happened tonight, so don't get used to it. So I'm so surprised by this news. I definitely would like to see ABC on NXT and have them go up against, what was it, Axiom and Fraser? I think they have the similar style. I think their styles would mesh really well together. But I'm curious to see, like, would Roxanne Perez show up on TNA? You see, and then what was music to my ears was that the crowd was chanting TNA. See? For anybody that says that people don't watch TNA, there you have it. People were chanting TNA, TNA. I hope this brings more eyes to TNA, and I hope that finally people stop sleeping on TNA. So you have like this match coming up. Man, if I wasn't already watching Battleground, I would actually tune in just because I want to see that match. And I'm curious to see how that finish is going to play out. If Jordynne Grace does lose, it cannot be a clean finish. It has to be some dirty finish. Orlando never forgets. That's true. That is true. So, what did you guys think of this? Like, I was so surprised by this. I kid you not, like, my jaw dropped. I was not expecting Jordynne Grace to come out when Josh, you guys know Josh, when he told me, I thought he was bullshitting me until I went on Twitter and I saw that it was legit. So I was like, I have to like watch how this plays out. Okay. So then that's not the only thing that happened tonight. Tonight, at the end of the main event, we had Sexy Red hand Trick Williams' title, and then Lash Legend came out and asked Trick Williams if he attacked Noam Dar and Oro because they were attacked. So she was trying to get to the bottom of this. The lights went out, and All Ego Ethan Page attacked Trick Williams here. And not only that, but I like how I think it was Joseph Vick that was about to mention AEW, but he got cut off. Ethan Page reveals he took out Noam Dar and he held up the title. So there you have it. Like, I could definitely see Ethan Page winning the NXT World title. I think he definitely has potential. You know, he was in a tag team with the North. Okay, so also Mike Johnson, the PWI insider, has confirmed that Ethan Page has signed with WWE. They were told that Ethan Page was at the Performance Center last week under the cover of Extreme Darkness and has signed at some point over the last couple of days. So he's assigned to NXT. Guess we see who Trick is facing at Battleground. I think that I think it would be too soon for them to face off at Battleground. Just because I feel like when is Battleground? On the 9th, right? Like, Ethan's gonna come in and win the title that quickly. I mean, you never know. But I just feel like that would be too soon. Maybe what's after Battleground? Heatwave? Maybe a Heatwave. But then they are gonna face each other after this. That's for sure. But I feel like those were the two most surprising things on tonight's NXT. But all right, you have a good point. They could build to this. Exactly. Why give it away so quickly? Like, build to it. You know, have Trick Williams get through Battleground because he just won it at Stand and Deliver, which was a month ago. Have him get through Battleground, then you can have him drop it at Heatwave. I mean, not Heatwave. Yeah, is it? No. Yeah, Heatwave. All right, so tonight's NXT kicked off with Ava Raine saying, I was just about to get to that. Talking about how NXT has the best women's division. And that they're constantly pushing boundaries and making history. And then in 2 short weeks, they will find out who the NXT Women's North American Champion is. So she brought out Sexy Red. I have to say, like, I didn't know who Sexy Red was. I had never heard of her. When it comes to the music and artists of today, like, I'm out of the loop. So I had to like Google who she was. She reveals that she's gonna be hosting Battleground in Las Vegas, and they also reveal the Women's North American title, which is basically the men's North American title, just in reversed coloring. It is white and like it has red in the middle. Let me show you guys. So this is what the title looks like. Seriously, exactly like the men's, except just different coloring. And then this leads into the qualifying match of Michin versus Tatum Paxley. I kind of don't like the color scheme. I feel like maybe they should have just used they should have used black and red. I feel like black and red would have popped much more better. But I get it. All right. So Michin versus Tatum Paxley. This was a qualifying match for that ladder match or the North American title. This is an okay match. Michin was victorious after she hit the Eat the Feet. So we get a quick Gallus segment, and they're basically like just talking among themselves until Metaphor approaches and asks Gallows why they attacked Noam Dar. They mention Ivar Wesley, Josh Briggs, and Javon Evans, and they accuse Trick Williams of attacking Noam Dar. But like Lash Legends doesn't, she defends Trick Williams here. So I guess Noam Dar got attacked maybe last week. You guys know I don't watch NXT here on a weekly basis, so I'm gonna have a little trouble filling in the gaps here. So just bear with me. All right, we get an Arianna Grace segment, and she's basically interrupting Lola Vice, who's like working out, and she's trying to like talk her out of doing another NXT Underground match against Shayna Baszler, and how she talks about Shayna Baszler is extremely dangerous. Now, one of the things I like about this is Arianna Grace, she does this whole pageantry gimmick. She's talking about acting like a lady, and Lola Vice basically challenges her to a match, and she curses. She says, "Oh shit," and she's just like, because she can't believe she just cursed. So she's supposed to do this whole lady gimmick. So next we get Riley Osborne versus Ridge Holland. Apparently they were a tag team. I'm not sure when that happened. Again, I don't watch NXT on a weekly basis, so some of this stuff is like new to me. So apparently, Andre Chase wanted them to have this match. Do I think Jinder Mahal could go 2-8? Maybe TNA. So this was a decent match. Ridge Holland won after he put the Redeemer on Riley Osborne. And at the end, like, he's trying to check up on Osborne. He even tried to like shake his hand, but Riley Osborne just refused to shake his hand and like exit the ring. So just goes to show that you should watch NXT more. Maybe we'll see. We will see. So I'm not sure what this was about. I guess like Riley Osborne cost them their match or something. But apparently they had to resolve it in the ring. So that the Good Brothers, and they're basically making their attention on that they want those NXT tag titles, and they beat down Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and they tell them that they're gonna keep beating them down until they get those tag titles from them. And then Oral from another member of Metaphor is attacked backstage. We get Malik, Blade, and Edris and Foray versus the Good Brothers. I thought this was a good showing by Malik, Blade, and Edris and Foray. I don't know much about. I haven't seen much about them the couple times that I've watched NXT, so I'm not sure what their gimmick is. But I thought they were pretty decent. I'm not a huge fan of the Good Brothers. But I think that they did have a good showing against the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers won. Then at the end, Frazier and Axiom attacked them, and they accept their challenge for Battleground for those NXT titles. So it seems like the Good Brothers are going to become NXT champions at Battleground. We get a Dante Chen promo, like slash Vignette, where he's talking about how he waited for an opportunity for 2 years, and he saw people get opportunity after opportunity, and he's hungry for more opportunities. Han Ash 2.0. Are you talking about the Good Brothers? Basically, like, Lexis King is like furious that Dante Chen beat him, and so they're gonna have another match tonight. And Lexis King says his 15 minutes of fame are over. Yep. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Good Brothers. I was not a fan of them when they were in TNA. Not a fan of them now. We get Trick Williams and Javon Evans, and they're working out together. And they're going to face Gallus in the main event. And Sexy Red approaches them, and they basically ask her to accompany them tonight in the main event. We get a quick Eddie Thorne vignette, which was kind of an interesting vignette, I would say. Curious to see what they do with Eddie Thorne. I don't know much about Eddie Thorne. We get a Chase U segment, and basically Andre Chase is trying to talk to Riley Osborne about the loss. He doesn't want to hear it. He still thinks that Ridge Holland can be trusted. I'm not sure why he thinks that. And then Hudson also agrees with Osborne. And then Ridge comes and he thanks Andre Chase for putting the match together. So kind of see where this is going to go here. Is Ridge Holland trying to join Chase U? Is he trying to destroy Chase U from the inside? Curious to see how this goes. We get Lola Vice versus Arianna Grace, which poor Arianna Grace, she didn't stand a chance against Lola Vice. I mean, she tried, but Lola Vice won this. And at the end, she basically called out Shayna Baszler, told her that there was two options. She would either tap out or knock out, and calls her a bitch. And Shayna Baszler comes out, and security just gets in between them. Because they both have the same they both come from the same background. We get a Carlee Bright segment. It shows her vignette about her cheerleading days, and then she's backstage. I don't know much about Carlee. I haven't seen her. Again, I don't watch NXT. I have to keep repeating that in case anybody watching is what? So Izzy Dame interrupts and basically tells Natty not to give him a false sense of hope, and then this one blonde girl attacks Izzy Dame. We get a no quarter catch crew segment, and they're basically Charlie's saying that they need structure, they need discipline, and a chain of command, and he's trying to get Damon Kemp to repeat capiche because he wants Damon Kemp to face Tony D'Angelo for that Heritage Cup. And then we also get backstage. You have Lash saying that she's going to ask Trick directly if he's responsible for the attacks on Metaphor. We get Lexis King versus Dante Chen, which was kind of a short match. Really, this was more about showing what Dante Chen can do. Because he ended up being victorious, and then Lexis King attacked him. And I like how commentary made a reference that Lexis King could be a loose cannon, referring to his dad, the late Brian Pillman. We have a Josh Briggs vignette, which details his career, his entire NXT career, which I thought was interesting. And it was a good little catch-up, especially because I don't know much about Josh Briggs again. So I thought it was a good video package. So Shawn Spears is being interviewed, and he talks about how he wants to help guide the youth and that the NXT talent is so talented and impressionable. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. He's trying to be a mentor. Since he came back, he seems to just kind of be there. So we get a quick Tony D'Angelo family segment. And they're basically just going to say that they're going to finish up with No Quarter Catch Crew. So I wonder if No Quarter Catch Crew is going to get the Heritage Cup back. We get this NXT Women's North American title qualifying match is Wren Sinclair versus Kelani Jordynne. I think this was a decent match. I liked it. Kelani Jordynne picked up the victory after she did that split-legged moonsault to Wren Sinclair. Stevie Turner is complaining to Ava Raine about what Jordynne Grace has done to get an opportunity at the title. Someone clearly does not watch TNA because Jordynne Grace has done a lot. A lot. But the whole point of this is that next week, Jordynne Grace is challenged Stevie Turner to a match next week. So, very curious. I mean, will I tune into NXT to see the entire show or just that match? But I'm actually looking forward. I want to see how they showcase Jordynne Grace in NXT. You get a quick Wes Lee interview, and he's basically talking about the North American title and about how he needs his championship back. And like Obafemi interrupts and basically says that he doesn't care how many opponents he has because the outcome's going to be the same. So I know Wesley's trying to recuperate that North American title. Obafemi is definitely a star on the rise. He's got so much potential. I could see him being North American champion for a good while. I don't think he's going to lose it in that, a triple threat match, I believe. So the main event ends up being Gallus, Joe and Mark Coffey versus Trick Williams and Javon Evans. I thought this was a good match. I felt like it was kind of rushed because they wanted to move into the main segment, which I already talked about, which was the debut of Ethan Page. So Trick Williams and Javon Evans were victorious here after Trick Williams hit the trick shot to Mark Coffey. So overall, I thought this was a pretty decent episode of NXT. I felt like the biggest talking points were the debut of Jordynne Grace and Ethan Page. Had it not been for those debuts, I just feel like this would have just been your run-of-the-mill NXT, really just a show. So there was a couple things I liked. I did like the Arianna Grace versus Lola Vice match, even if it was kind of short. So am I going to watch next week since Jordynne Grace will have a match? That's $1 million question. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll just watch her match. Maybe. We'll see. I feel like it just depends on what else happens. That would have to entice me to see the entire show. Next week's gonna be a very interesting for both companies. I agree. So I hope this gets people to stop sleeping on TNA. So you can see Jordynne Grace is a knockout champion, and she's gonna be next week on NXT. This is how it's done. Well, yeah. So very curious to see what the TNA NXT relationship leads to. I wonder who from NXT will show up on TNA. That's what I'm curious about. So, all right. So on a scale from a 1 to a Shawn Spears perfect 10, I thought this was a decent show. Again, like I said, if it wasn't for Jordynne Grace and Ethan Page, I feel like this show would kind of just be like your average NXT. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I thought it was okay. Now, as far as tomorrow is concerned, I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll decide last minute as to whether or not I'm gonna go to AEW Dynamite tomorrow. So if I do go to Dynamite, make sure you check out the footage I'll be uploading. If I don't go to Dynamite, I will definitely be doing a review tomorrow. So if I don't see you tomorrow for a review, I definitely will see you guys Thursday over on Body Sound for the TNA review. So with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I live or release a new video. And again, if I don't see you guys tomorrow, I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a great night. Bye.